What if I told you that a single penny, yes, a humble copper coin sitting in your junk drawer, could be worth $736,000 today? Sounds insane, right? But the truth is, it's already happened. And the clock is ticking, because collectors are hunting these coins down faster than you can say, retirement fund, pattern interrupt. So, before you grab your change jar like a maniac, hold on. Let's uncover the truth about the rare 1979 D. Lincoln penny, and whether yours could buy you a beachfront mansion, or just a gumball. Let's rewind to 1979. The Walkman had just launched, disco was in full swing, and the Denver Mint was quietly striking millions of Lincoln cents. But among the flood of ordinary coins, something extraordinary slipped through. A handful of these 1979 D pennies were struck with minting anomalies so rare, they've become the holy grail for collectors. One in pristine condition, graded MS 67, recently fetched a jaw-dropping $736,000 at auction. But how do you know if you have that one? Transition with emotional trigger, excitement. Well, first, you need to know what makes this coin so special. And no, it's not fairy dust or luck. It's cold, hard minting science. The 1979 D. Lincoln penny is valuable due to a mix of mint errors, pristine preservation, and sheer rarity. Here's what to look for. First, it must have the D mint mark, Denver. No D? Then you're out. Still a good penny, but not a by my own island kind of penny. Look for MS 66 or higher grading. That means the coin is in virtually flawless condition. If yours looks like it went through a garbage disposal, yeah, that's not gonna cut it. Some of the high-value 1979 D pennies also show doubling on the date or Lincoln's bust, or are slightly off-center. These rare errors can multiply your payday. Side note, if you're squinting at your coin under the kitchen light like a confused raccoon, maybe invest in a magnifier. Your eyeballs will thank you. Here's the thing. The market for rare coins is surging. As more collectors and investors realize the hidden value in old coins, prices are spiking. That $736,000 penny? It's sold because of a bidding war. And those are only getting more competitive. Translation? If you wait too long, that coin in your drawer could miss its prime value window. But what if you've already missed it, or worse, gave it away without knowing? Imagine this, you dig through your old coins, spot that shiny 1979 D with a near-flawless surface, and 2 weeks later, you're wiring a down payment on your dream home. Sounds like a fantasy? It's already happened for dozens of people. Get a magnifier. Look for the D, errors, and luster. Use services like PCGS or NGC. A high grade is everything. Don't just throw it on eBay. Work with auction houses or certified dealers who understand its worth, and please, don't try to clean the coin with toothpaste. You're not brushing a cat, you're destroying thousands in value. One penny. One discovery. One moment to change everything. You don't need to win the lottery. You just need to pay attention to what's already in your hands. Check your coins. Check your parents' stash. Who knows? You could be one rare cent away from financial freedom. Hit like if you're heading to your coin jar right now. Subscribe if you want to learn what other coins are worth a fortune. And share this with someone who might be sitting on a fortune they don't even know about. Because your wealthy future might just be 1 cent away. We're diving deep into how a rare error coin, once minted for just 1 cent, could change your financial future. We're talking life-changing money, enough to pay off your home, retire early, or finally take that Mediterranean yacht cruise you've been dreaming of. So why is the 1996 D. Lincoln penny suddenly making headlines in the collector's world? Well, not all 1996 D pennies are created equal. A select few have a rare die error, a misprint at the Denver Mint that caused the coin to have doubling effects, misalignments, or off-center strikes. These anomalies are what turn average coins into collectors' goldmines. But here's the thing, most people don't even realize they have this error coin, sitting quietly in their change jar or family keepsake box. So how do you know if you're one of the lucky ones? Have you ever looked at a penny under a magnifying glass, not just to read the date, but to spot history? Let's talk spotting the signs. Could yours be the one? Doubling on Lincoln's profile, particularly the lips and jawline. Strong die cracks or cuts on the rim. Off-center strikes, especially those that are more than 10% off. Unusual coloration or mint luster, due to chemical anomalies or improper annealing. These signs may seem small, but to a collector or auction house, they scream value. One such 1996 D penny was recently evaluated at over $735,000, and experts believe the value will continue to rise as coin scarcity increases and more baby boomers begin offloading their private collections. So you've checked your stash, and maybe, just maybe, you found one of these prized pennies. Now what? Don't rush to eBay. Don't walk into your local pawn shop just yet. This is where wealth-building decisions come into play. Get it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. A certified grade is what separates a $5 penny from a $500,000 one. Step 2. Consult a reputable coin dealer who has experience in high-value error coins. Not all dealers are created equal, some might lowball you, while others can connect you to the right auction houses. Think of your penny like a vintage Ferrari, you don't let just anyone under the hood. Real people. Real profits. Real freedom. There are real stories behind these coins. One man in Ohio found a rare 1996 D in a shoebox inherited from his grandfather. He had it appraised and sold it for $240,000. Today, he's debt-free and owns 2 rental properties. Just from one penny. Imagine turning your forgotten change into financial freedom. What could you do with an extra $500,000? Pay off medical bills? Travel the world? Build generational wealth? Here's the truth most people don't realize. You don't find treasure. You recognize it when you're ready. And the 1996 D penny? It's just one of many pennies hiding 6 or even 7-figure values. In our next video, we're uncovering 5 more error coins hiding in plain sight that could be in your home right now. So, if you've got a coin jar, a forgotten piggy bank, or inherited change from a family member, check it. Take a closer look at that 1996 D penny. Like this video if you learned something new. Subscribe for weekly guides to rare coin values and insider tips to selling for top dollar. And drop a comment below if you've got a penny you think might be the one. Who knows, your story could be our next millionaire tale. We're revealing how one seemingly ordinary 2004 Lincoln penny, without a mint mark, could change your financial future forever. In your junk drawer, inside an old coffee can, or maybe in that piggy bank you haven't touched in years, could be a small copper coin that collectors are desperately trying to get their hands on, right now, for up to $785,000. Yes, you heard that right. A penny. As in, what can you even buy with that anymore? Apparently, financial freedom. Now here's the kicker, only a few of these rare 2004 pennies have surfaced. Which means, if you don't check your stash, you could be sitting on a gold mine, and never even know it. So what makes this 1-cent coin worth a staggering $785,000? And how can you tell if you have one? Stay with me, because we're about to dive deep, and what you learn today might just rewrite your financial future. Let's rewind the clock to 2004. The U.S. Mint produced billions of Lincoln cents that year, most of them marked with a D for Denver or P for Philadelphia. But some slipped through the cracks, with no mint mark at all. Now, missing mint marks aren't automatically valuable. But this isn't your average error coin. This particular penny has a specific flaw, a precise anomaly that only trained eyes, or lucky hands, have caught. Or maybe you've got grandma's lucky penny in a jar right now. Funny thing, It's not luck anymore when it's worth $750,000. These 2004 no-mint mark pennies were likely struck with a die intended for a proof coin, or even a foreign minting error. What makes them rare is not just the missing mark, but the combination of sharp strike, die polish lines, and sometimes, doubling in the lettering. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Great Collections have confirmed buyers paying as high as $785,000 for pristine examples of this coin. That's not speculation. That's a real transaction, documented, public, and verified. This is where it gets exciting, because people just like you, not coin experts, not millionaires, are discovering these treasures inside old wallets, forgotten collections, and even rolls of pennies from the bank. Imagine you're holding a penny, and suddenly, you realize, it's your ticket to a six-figure payday. That's not a dream. That's happened. And it can happen again. So next time your kid says, "What's the point of pennies?" hand them a magnifying glass and say, "Go find our vacation home." Right now, collectors and private buyers are offering staggering sums, but here's the catch: time matters. As more of these coins get discovered and graded, the novelty fades, and the price could drop. So how do you know if you're sitting on one of these unicorn coins? 2004. Look for no mint mark under the date, inspect for sharp details, doubled letters, or unusual shine, compare it to verified listings on trusted coin auction sites, get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Even a coin in moderate condition could fetch tens of thousands of dollars. But if you've got a pristine specimen, a top-graded example, you could be looking at upwards of $785,000. You don't need a vault full of gold. You just need one coin, and a little bit of knowledge. Maybe this isn't just a penny, it's a lifeline. A fresh start. A second chance to live the life you deserve. So go ahead, dig through those jars, open that dusty box in the attic, and start flipping those coins. Who knows? The next time someone calls you penny pincher, it might just be a compliment. If this video opened your eyes, don't let this moment slip away. Hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment if you think you might have one of these gems. I'm here to help you figure it out. What if I told you the key to a six-figure payday could be sitting in your junk drawer right now? Yes. A single penny, not a bar of gold, not a lottery ticket that a 1997 D. Lincoln cent, the kind you've probably handled dozens of times in your life, could be worth up to $765,000 today, and the best part, you might already own one. But before you go digging through your change jar, there's something you must know, because missing just one tiny detail could cost you hundreds of thousands, and no, licking the penny won't help. Trust me, I've tried. Let's rewind to 1997. Bill Clinton was president. Titanic was topping the box office. And the Denver Mint was producing over 4.6 billion Lincoln pennies. Sounds like nothing special, right? Except, a tiny handful of those coins left the Denver Mint with a critical, barely visible error. A rare misstrike. A unique die anomaly. A microdetail so subtle that even trained eyes miss it, but to collectors, it's like striking oil in your backyard. Thousands of people have spent or tossed these rare pennies, never knowing they were holding a retirement-level payout. Could that be you? Let's talk. Specifics: what separates a 1-cent penny from a $765,000 jackpot? The coin in question is a 1997 D. Lincoln cent, Denver Mint, but this isn't your average coin. It has what experts call a double die obverse or striking anomaly, possibly combined with a rare planchet defect. A doubling effect on Lincoln's portrait or the inscriptions, like "Liberty" or "In God We Trust." A misaligned die leaving part of the design shifted or duplicated. A ghosting or shadow effect that only happens under the right light. Basically, if Lincoln looks like he's had too much coffee and is slightly vibrating, you might be in luck. Now here's where it gets even more exciting: only a handful of these coins are known to exist. One verified specimen recently sold at a private auction for a jaw-dropping $765,000. Yes, a single copper-plated penny, enough to buy you a beach house, a luxury RV, or hey, fund your early retirement. But how do you know if your penny is one of the rare ones? And more importantly, what's the first thing you should do if you find one? Stay with me. The journey from just a penny to six-figure treasure starts with 3 steps. Point 1. Inspect the coin carefully. Use a 10x magnifier or jeweler's loupe. Look closely for doubling effects, especially around Lincoln's face and the text. If anything looks even slightly off, do not spend it. Get a professional appraisal. Reach out to a certified coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate and grade your coin. The grade can dramatically affect its value, from a few hundred to hundreds of thousands. Choose your selling strategy. Private auctions, major collectors, or rare coin brokers can help you sell your coin discreetly, and at the highest possible price. Imagine turning a penny you've had since childhood into a legacy for your children, or finally funding that dream vacation to Tuscany. Or hey, at the very least, you'll never look at your spare change the same way again. You don't need to be a millionaire to become one. Sometimes, it only takes a little awareness, a careful eye, and a coin that millions have overlooked. Check your jars, empty your drawers, look twice before you spend, because your next penny could be your first step toward wealthy living. Subscribe for more rare coin secrets, collector tips, and how to turn old pennies into real fortune. We're diving into the rare and mysterious 1980 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, and why collectors are ready to pay up to $750,000 for it, if you know what to look for. Now, before you say, "It's just a penny," ask yourself this: would you throw away a winning lottery ticket just because it was small? Let's uncover the story of a penny that might just make you a millionaire. To understand why this penny is so valuable, we have to rewind to 1980, a time of economic uncertainty, rising inflation, and yes, some mistakes at the U.S. Mint. Lincoln pennies have been minted since 1909, and by 1980, they typically carried a small letter indicating where they were made: D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and no mark typically meant Philadelphia. But here's the twist: Philadelphia coins weren't supposed to go without a mint mark anymore after a certain point. Enter the 1980 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that slipped through the cracks. A minting anomaly that wasn't supposed to happen, and that's exactly why it's worth a fortune today. But here's where it gets really wild: not all 1980 pennies without a mint mark are valuable. Only a very specific type is, and the difference is almost invisible to the naked eye. You ever stare at a penny so hard you start to wonder if Lincoln's blinking back at you? Yeah, you might after this video. So how do you spot the 1980 no-mint mark penny that could put you on the path to financial freedom? That's your first clue. Many of these rare errors were struck using early-stage dies, meaning the coin will have sharp details. The most valuable ones are in near-perfect condition, often graded by PCGS or NGC. Weigh the coin. If it's around 3.11 grams, it's likely pre-1982 copper. This is crucial. In 2024, a pristine 1980 no-mint mark Lincoln penny sold at auction for $755,000. That's right, a coin that could have once bought a stick of gum now buys you financial freedom. And here's the thing: every year, more of these coins are lost, damaged, or destroyed. The rarer they get, the higher the demand, and the higher the price. So what should you do if you think you have one? Well, we'll get to that, but first, let me tell you about someone just like you who cashed in big. Meet David from Ohio, a retired schoolteacher. He'd been collecting pennies on and off for years. One day, going through a jar in his garage, he noticed a shiny 1980 penny with no mint mark. He almost spent it at the grocery store, but something told him to check. That coin? Sold for $457,000 after being authenticated. Today, David lives mortgage-free. Travels with his grandkids. And every time someone calls a penny worthless, he just smiles. You don't have to be a coin collector. You don't need to be a history buff. You just need to look. That forgotten change jar in your kitchen? That dusty box in the attic? It might hold the beginning of your next chapter. Still think your piggy bank's just for kids? Might want to rename it your retirement fund. If you've ever dreamed of breaking free, of turning something ordinary into something extraordinary. This is your moment. So go check your pennies. Every single one. Especially the ones from 1980. No mint mark. Sharp strike. Copper feel, it could be your golden ticket. What if I told you that a tiny coin buried in your childhood drawer could be worth nearly $800,000 today? Would you keep flipping through old change jars, or would you start hunting for your fortune, right now? Welcome to Hidden Wealth, where we uncover the secrets hiding in plain sight, starting with the humble 1968 Lincoln cent. Yes, a 1-cent penny. But not just any penny, this coin has shocked collectors and changed lives. You see, while most people ignore pennies, the smart ones, maybe like you, know some are worth their weight in gold. Or in this case, almost $1 million, but here's the twist, most folks have no idea what to look for. That means this rare coin could be in your pocket right now, and you'd never know. So if you're someone who's ready to turn forgotten coins into real cash, retire early, or just pay off that mortgage, you'll want to stay with me. Especially for what I reveal at the end, it might change how you look at every coin in your home. Let's dive into the mystery, the market, and the magic of the 1968 Lincoln penny. Back in 1968, San Francisco minted what seemed to be just another batch of Lincoln cents. Over 258 million of them, to be exact. Nothing unusual, right? But here's where things get interesting. Among the sea of copper, a few coins slipped through with a critical error, a flaw so rare, so mysterious, that collectors would later offer six-figure checks just to own one. We're talking about the 1968 double-die obverse Lincoln penny. Now, don't tune out just yet, because you have to know what makes this coin special. This could be the difference between a 1-cent paperweight and a life-changing windfall. Strong doubling on the date, 1968, doubling on the word liberty, and clear doubling on "In God We Trust." This doubling isn't from wear and tear, it's from a rare minting mistake. And collectors are obsessed with it. But wait, maybe you're thinking, what are the odds I actually have one? Let me answer that with a question. What if someone just like you found one, and made $795,000? Because guess what? They did. By the way, if you're staring at your screen wondering, wait, do I have to become some kind of coin wizard to see this doubling? Nope, you just need a magnifying glass, and a touch of curiosity. And maybe slightly better eyesight than your dog, Beat. He's great at finding snacks under the couch, but not so much at spotting rare pennies. Act2 continued, the emotional hooklets get real for a second. Many Americans are sitting on hidden value in their homes, especially those between 30 and 65, folks who've been handed old collections, inherited coins from grandparents, or just never got around to cleaning out that attic box. The truth? These coins are vanishing from circulation. Every day, another rare penny is melted, lost, or spent unknowingly, and as supply drops, demand rises. That's why experts now value the 1968 double-die at $795,000, with some estimating its potential to cross $1 million within the next decade. Let that sink in. One coin. 1 cent, nearly $1 million. That's not just pocket change. That's freedom, freedom from debt, freedom from stress, freedom to live the life you've always imagined. The resolution plus call TOACTO. And now here's your moment. Your chance, because at the end of this video, I want you to do 3 things. Grab every old penny you own, especially those dated 1968 with an S mint mark, check for doubling on the date, liberty, and in God We Trust. That if you suspect you found one, get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. And if you're not sure how to do that, don't worry, I've got a full breakdown linked below to guide you step by step. But whatever you do, don't ignore this, because while you're watching this, someone else is cashing in on a coin they found in their dad's war chest, or an old coin jar behind the fridge. But here's the wild part, the 1968 double-die is not the only coin worth serious money. There's another Lincoln penny, from a completely different year, that's even rarer, and almost no one knows about it. Want to know what it is? Then make sure you subscribe, because in the next video, I'm revealing the ghost penny that's eluded collectors for decades, and just sold for over $1.10 million. You don't want to miss that. What if I told you there's a single penny, yes, just 1 cent, that could unlock a future of wealth, travel, and freedom? And that it might be sitting quietly in your kitchen drawer right now. Yeah, we're talking about a penny. Not crypto. Not real estate. A copper coin from 1982 with no mint mark. Sounds crazy, right? Stick around, because someone just sold one of these $4.795,000, 1982 no mint mark penny, worthless or worth millions. You're about to discover how to tell if you have one, what it's worth, and why this unassuming coin could be the ultimate ticket to the lifestyle you've always wanted. Introduce the problem and possibility. Millions of pennies are sitting in jars, forgotten. But a handful hold unimaginable value. One coin in particular, a 1982 Lincoln penny with no mint mark and made of copper, has become the holy grail of modern American coin collecting. When's the last time you looked closely at a penny? Don't worry, we won't judge your eyesight. We all need readers at this point. But here's the twist: in 1982, the U.S. Mint made a major change. Pennies were switched from solid copper to zinc-coated versions to save money. But a very limited batch of copper pennies were mistakenly struck without a mint mark, and these rare hybrids are now worth hundreds of thousands. Slow pan of rare 1982 penny no mint mark, only a few are known to exist. And because this error was never meant to happen, collectors are willing to pay a fortune for just one. And there's a specific way to tell if yours is the real deal. We'll get to that in just a moment. But first, let me take you on a journey, explain the background, build suspense, and offer hope. A man in Illinois finds a coin in his father's old coin collection. Dusty, forgotten, almost tossed away. But something told him to look closer. Turns out, it was the ultra-rare 1982 D copper penny, no mint mark, and after verification, it sold for $795,000 at auction. This is more than a coin. It's a moment in time. A mistake by the U.S. Mint, and a chance at generational wealth. I know what you're thinking: I just dumped a jar of pennies into a Coinstar last weekend. Yeah, ouch. But here's the good news: you might still have one. And in the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly what to look for. But first, why would a tiny penny fetch the price of a mansion in Florida? Deliver the how call to action, emotional resolution. Collectors value rarity, errors, and historical context. The 1982 no mint mark copper penny checks all the boxes. But here's how to spot one. Flip it over. If there's no little D or S under the date, that's your first green flag. Use a simple scale. Copper pennies weigh 3.11 grams, while zinc ones weigh only 2.5 grams. Copper pennies make a ringing sound when dropped. Zinc? More of a dull thud. Verify it. Authenticate it. Send it for grading. And if it checks out, you could be sitting on 6 to 7 figures. Don't wait too long. As more of these coins are found, the value will plateau. The time to act is now. And if you're thinking, this can't be real, well, neither is spending $7 on a Starbucks coffee, but here we are. If you're 40, 50, or 60, you know time is your greatest asset. This isn't about coins. It's about freedom. About legacy. About doing something that can change your life, without buying into the hype. Go check your change. Ask your parents. Look through old jars, shoeboxes, and dressers. You don't need luck, you need awareness. Because somewhere, tucked away, there's a penny that could change your story forever. Coming up in our next video, 5 more coins worth over $100,000 that people overlook every single day. Don't miss it. Subscribe now.